So a while ago, I heard an interview with Elon Musk, and the interviewer was asking him why he cares about becoming an interplanetary species. And I was really surprised at his answer. He said, so that the light of consciousness will not be extinguished. It wasn't the answer I was expecting. And neither was Jon Stewart, kind of. It wasn't very funny at all. So then today, looking at all the talks that are going on, I saw consciousness mentioned in 4 of the talks on the BIL website, and several of the other talks were about consciousness, even though they didn't specifically mention it, communicating at a higher level in a better way. So what is consciousness? Like, I've really fallen asleep listening to a lot of videos about consciousness. We're gonna not go in that direction with it. We're not gonna get too huge and mystical. But the way I think about it is that consciousness has something to do with complexity. And we have good evidence of that because consciousness seems to hang out wherever complexity is. And when you look at the single most complex organ that we know of, the brain, we find that that's where consciousness is especially predominant. And so my view of it now is that fish have fish consciousness, squirrels have squirrel consciousness, humans have human consciousness. And being a human and having human consciousness is actually pretty rad because the universe is mostly empty, and then there are places where there's a lot of matter and energy and so on. But the human being is really a single point of ultra concentrated complexity, and the most concentrated point of complexity we actually know of in the known universe. So that's why the people you're sitting next to are, at once ordinary and common and sometimes frustrating and so on, and also like the most profound creatures at the same time. Oh, clicker for me. Here we go. Where do I point it? Where's the computer? Where's the receiver? Is it you? I know pointing it at the slide doesn't actually do anything. Oh, there we are. Okay. Okay, I can't even see you because of this light in my eyes. It's the perfect setup for, I don't know how many of you are out there. So consciousness is not constant. The amount of sleep you get, the food you eat, how much food you eat, the information you encounter, the relationships you're in, the environment you're surrounded by, what you do for a living, experiences you've had. When you end up in a food coma, when you just eat the entire burrito and you should have taken half of it home, and there's you don't want to take an IQ test then, right? Because you've actually lost consciousness as energy is diverted to digestion. It's actually what's going on. But what we can say about consciousness is that more is better. When you are in a state of increased consciousness, you're generally feeling compassion, gratitude, curiosity, joy, great stuff like that. And when you're in low consciousness, you're quite possibly feeling something maybe like shame or hatred or apathy or on the verge of easily being triggered into feeling such a thing. We know that higher consciousness is better than lower consciousness. Like when you are being just your brilliant, authentic self in a way that nourishes the people around you, that's just some of the best times to be alive, right? And then there's other times that we all experience where we are lashing out at other people or shutting down in some way when we should really be standing up and doing something. Higher consciousness is a boon to every other endeavor. So whatever your gig is, whatever you care about, if it's the environment or governance or the economy, higher consciousness, I think, is what allows us to eventually take the leap from sort of brutish, reductionist, industrial mentalities about nature toward more of a holistic ecosystem mentality without losing the efficiencies of technology. Higher consciousness is good for governance. You know, the higher consciousness possessed by the people, the fewer laws they actually need, right? The more they can govern themselves. And you really can't put enough laws in the book to manage a society in low consciousness, and we see that all around us. You know, more codes and laws than anybody could read in a lifetime. And we're also facing, as a society, as a planet, huge issues of externalities, right? Like markets work pretty well, actually, so long as you don't have unpriced externalities. And the weird thing is now when you walk into a store to buy something, the least expensive item for you is the most expensive item generally for the planet and for somebody else somewhere. And that's because of unpriced externalities. And I think it's going to take a shift toward higher consciousness to actually allow us to rein in those externalities. Einstein sort of famously is attributed with saying that problems cannot be solved with the same level of thinking that created them. It's a great quote. It's almost a cliche now, and it's time we actually do something about it. So looking at this very simple graph, don't overanalyze it, I just made it up last night. But what's important here to look at is, you know, you see these kind of pits there. There's this one pit, and then you see this baseline, which is kind of like where people are just likely to run into you, your level of consciousness when they run into you. And then there's these spikes that are like these like peak experiences. They're really great. They can be the most meaningful experiences of your life. And so the pits, it turns out, are quite often, almost all the time, caused by traumas and moments where you experienced and internalized some kind of shame. A trauma, you know, as I define it, is just a time when you encountered a situation you didn't have the resources for. And when you start off at age 0, you don't have many resources for anything. And so the traumas just kind of pile up over time. And those can be repaired in many ways. Like, there's fantastic technologies out there for the resolution of traumas, and honestly, in the past 5 years, that's been the single most important, like, power-up of my own personality and self, has been the resolution of traumas, the dismantling of shame. And Alexis is in the room somewhere, and she's actually a therapist trained in great technologies like EMDR. So I really wish, like, the whole world would just hit the pause button, go fix all of their traumas, and then get back to whatever it is we're doing every day, because everything would just be better. As far as this baseline goes, we know there are things that we can do to raise the baseline. We know that there's breath work, you know, the environments you're in. We know that there's all kinds of technologies on the horizon, you know, transcranial stimulation and so on and so forth. Music. Well, my latest hack is to listen to the most beautiful soundtrack I can find all day long on loop. And the reason is, it's really kind of funny. When we're conditioned that when the beautiful music is playing in the movie, nobody's doing anything shitty. And so when you play beautiful music in the background all day and you're the only person on stage, like, you just find yourself behaving a little better. You write better emails, you treat people better. I used to watch the movie Gandhi twice a year and have people over to watch it, because I swear, you were lucky if you ran into me the same week I'd watched Gandhi. Like, I would really give you a fair deal. Like, I would be in pretty high consciousness. So I'd love to see more movies that actually stimulate high consciousness. Most psychological thrillers are just a psychopath and a knife, again and again and again. I'm tired of those movies. They don't do us any good. So, oh, and even this picture might be technology. This is called the overview effect, right? People, when they behold the entire Earth and see it hanging like a little ball with a thin little atmosphere, keeping all this going, when they come back from that experience, they quite often have significantly different priorities. That, you might call that a peak experience. They come back and they just, you know, you and your government and you and your other government, like, you just don't get it. Like, we're just a ball hanging in space, right? So, you know, maybe space tourism is going to be one of these technologies where we get people up there, turn their heads to look at the Earth. They get something that they never got before, and that's because they've been stimulated into a higher level of consciousness, possibly raising their baseline for the rest of their lives. That would be fantastic. So the problem is not that there aren't hundreds and hundreds of technologies for the elevation of consciousness. They're actually out there. I'm busy almost all the time sorting through them, actually, undergoing them, exposing myself to them, just trying to categorize them. It's not that they don't exist, it's that we haven't focused much on how to scale them. They're largely the purview of therapists and teachers and people like that who are wonderful, but they're sitting on just an absolute treasure trove of powerful technologies, and they rarely intersect with the tech community or the finance community or entrepreneurs who are used to taking things big. There's so little overlap there. And I'm becoming, I've been involved with so many startups and I've been around a lot of money, and I'm getting sick of seeing it going almost everywhere but toward the elevation of consciousness. And so my latest idea, actually, that I'm exploring now is to start a venture fund focused on the increase in elevation of consciousness. Because at this stage of my life, money is it's just voltage. That's all it is. And there are some systems that need their voltage taken away, that they have too much voltage, they don't service anymore. And there's other systems and other technologies that are barely getting any voltage, and it's time that they got a lot more. And so I can't get this idea out of my head of what would the consciousness of humanity be if we were to put $1 billion straight into the technologies, the people, the systems that need to come online to support a higher level of consciousness. So I think that might be my next project, and wish me luck and help me advance the slide forward. Thank you. And you can catch my adventures and pursuit and endeavors of all this kind of stuff at joshwhitten.com and on Twitter at joshwhitten. And I think I finished early. Nice. Thank you. Questions?